Hello and welcome to an episode of Automation, the car company Tycoon. And in today's episode, we're going to be making a hot hatch, a very advanced, very modern, very probably expensive hot hatch. And just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone watching this. And okay, listen, I don't really care. I'm not going to be politically correct like everyone else and say Happy Holidays because I don't care. Well, even though I'm actually not religious at all, but I like to make people mad with religion, so Merry Christmas, because screw saying Happy Holidays, because I want to make everyone mad. So we need to find some sort of modern hot hatch, so let's increase the year there to 2020. Now we have to wait for everything here to load, which, there. I mean, I've selected 2020, but nothing is newer than that. Okay. I'm going to go with this metal here, so we're going to choose these. We're going to go for obviously, aluminum panels. And then for the chassis, we're going to go for, how about monocoque? And then the chassis material, corrosion-resistant steel. Engine placement. Now, usually I go with a longitudinal placement engine because that's what, you know, you can fit fat old V8s in there, except this is a hot hatch. So we're going to go with a front transverse layout. And then the front suspension, obviously we're going to go with a double wishbone. And then in the rear, we're going to go with a double wishbone suspension, too. Now for the engine block, we're going to go with an inline 4. This will have a turbocharger on it because modern. Block material, obviously we're going to go with aluminum. How many cc do we want this engine to be? Let's go with a 2.4 liter engine. Right about there. Head and valves. As if there was any other option for a modern car, dual overhead cam. We're going to go for 4 valves per cylinder. And then the head material, aluminum. Even though aluminum isn't as strong and you can actually very easily warp it if you work on it. What type of music is this? Sounds like something that would be in Pink Panther or some sort of crap like that. Okay, the crankshaft. Let's not go with cast iron, let's go with forged steel. As, actually, yeah, like cast iron, why not? The conrods, let's go with cast. I mean, we can probably just change this to lightweight forged if we really want to, but then again, this is an inline 4. How much power are you really going to make from this? The pistons. Let's go with... let's just go with forged. Let's increase the quality a bit. And actually, yeah, let's go back to here. And now what we're going to go with here is we're going to make this sort of kind of like a Civic Type R-ish engine. Although we're not going to really make the body like a Civic Type R. But I am going to go with a Civic Type R engine rather than a Ford Focus RS, because a Ford Focus RS, it's a little more complicated as all-wheel drive, it's not front-wheel drive, all that sort of stuff. And I actually have a list over here that I probably will link in the description if I ever actually remember. Don't quote me on that. I just won't remember. Anyway, I have a list here. So the compression ratio of a Honda Civic Type R is 9.8 to 1. And actually, we are going to change the conrods to lightweight forged because in the Honda Civic Type R, it has forged steel connecting rods, and it also has super lightweight, high rigidity steel crankshaft. So instead of going with cast iron, forged again. You can't get the exact part, obviously, in this game, so we're just going to go with something kind of close to that. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the cam profile. We're just going to leave it there. Variable valve profile. Leave it there. Okay, so we are going to go with a variable valve time on all cams. Because on the Honda Civic Type R, there is VTEC. So, yeah. Now, on to the juicy bit. Turbocharger. Leave that there. I really don't know the exact differences between that stuff. And we're going to go with a... how about performance? So the maximum PSI of the turbocharger on a Honda Civic Type R is 23.2 PSI. So let's go here to the maximum boost. Let's raise that up to 23.2. 23.3, close enough. Now let's increase the quality of this a little bit because obviously it's going to have pretty good quality for this to not blow up. Now, why would this be a car that has carburation? That just doesn't make sense. Injection. It has a direct injection per cylinder, so it can make as much power. Performance. Right, and the fuel type. The Honda Civic Type R is recommended to run premium unleaded. So, if we go here, premium, not super, just premium. And then I really have no clue what the fuel mixture is, or the ignition timing. But what I do know is that the RPM limit is 7,000 RPM. Let's also just increase the quality on the fuel system a little bit. And then for the exhaust, I'm actually kind of too lazy to look up the numbers for this, so we're just going to go with bypass valves, obviously. Then we're going to make the exhaust per diameter a little bit bigger. Catalytic converter. 3-way catalytic converter. Let's have the first muffler be a baffled muffler. The second one, baffled. And it's died due to knock. Actually, one major thing that I do want to change is I want to make this a 2-liter engine, not a 2.4-liter engine. Now we gotta go see what I did wrong. So, it wants us to run 102 octane, which I don't think is going to happen. So let's increase the fuel mixture. And there we go. Okay, so just by changing the fuel mixture, we've done that. Now let's decrease it a little bit more. So now we have no knocking at all. And if I went for a race intake, I would increase my horsepower a little bit. We don't even really need to increase our horsepower too much, but I would like to see here a 19.5 miles to the gallon. If I increase the, ignition timing needs, let's look here. How's the exhaust looking? Exhaust is good. Except I wonder, could I get some better exhaust velocity if I lower it? Nope. 2.75 is going to be the best. And I'm going to increase the exhaust quality a little. Now for the fuel system, I'll also increase that a little bit. Aspiration. Alright, I'm going to increase the quality of this. But the compressor needs a little bit bigger. Okay. So 302 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque. Still increase that a little bit. Now the turbine also needs to be a little bigger. The intercooler. Okay, so that's diminishing return, so click that again. I think I'm pretty happy with that right there. Actually, let's just decrease the amount of boost that the turbo's making. And it's still getting really not so good fuel economy. Let's see, how can I help the fuel economy situation? Let's decrease the variable valve lift profile, and then let's also decrease the cam profile a little bit, which is seeming to do exactly nothing, except just increase our fuel economy, and that's actually it that it's doing. So right there is what we're going to go with. Compression ratio, we're going to stay the same, except the quality of this I'm going to put up a little bit. And then quality of this, also going to increase that. Actually, I'm going to, it's not exactly 2 liters, so increase that a little. Okay, now it's basically 2 liters. And we're making about 21 miles per gallon. That's just great. How can you get that little of fuel economy from this sort of engine? I decreased the fuel mixture just a little bit. Okay. So with that, we have 24 miles per gallon. I'm happy with that. Now let's see what this thing sounds like. It's a little loud. Yeah, it's a little loud. There. You happy now? Just be quieter. Jesus, engine. Okay. Okay. How about you don't kill my ears anymore? A little better. Not by much, though. Okay, time to choose the body. Hatchback right there. There's 2 hatchbacks here. Which do I like the styling more of? So this one has just a little change in the window. Oh, so this is 2 doors. This is, yeah, so we're probably gonna go with that one. Yeah, we're going with this one. Next. Meh, steel paint job, why not? Headlights. Let's go with some smexy lighting on here. A little higher. A little fatter. No, different. I want something different from that. I wonder how these will look. Oh, those are a little chubby. I think I can make that work. To be honest though, I can't make anything work. Now for the taillights. I like the look of these taillights, but I never seem to find the right vehicle to put these on. Oh, that's not right. That's on the side of the car. What are you doing there? No. A bit more to the side. Let's make it a little smaller. Yeah, I think that actually does work pretty good. Indicator lights. Let's see if I can try to make this look good. No, that's not gonna happen. Okay, I guess I'll just put this strip right below there. Okay. Grill. Okay, I feel like I want this to be kind of like a... yeah. This might look decent. Make it wide. Not that wide. Okay, just a little bigger. A little taller. Okay. Now this has to be a sporty hot hatch, so... what should we go with? I think this one might look nice. Put it on the side. This is a real vent, not a just fake one slapped on there. And actually, let's put it right on the fender there. We'll bulge out the fender a little bit, maybe. Let's go back to this section. Let's bulge that out a little bit. We are going to put a little bit fatter tires on this. What have I done? Okay, I guess I just went to the ceiling. Now, the question is, how much do I want these to bulge out? I think that's going to be good. Also going to do the same in the rear here. I could make that back farther or up here. I personally like that. And I can make that smaller or bigger. But you know, this looks more hatchy to me, so I'm going to go with that. And then this... yeah, I mean, I like the look of it more if you put the thing back. So this backwards. No, that looks like completely ugly. It needs to have a little bit of slope to it. That looks too car-like. So shrink it all, really. Increase that a little bit. Okay, that's what I've done with this. Next. No, back. Now I can try to put this a little bit more on the fender. What have I done? Okay, so move that a bit to there. Okay, I'll just keep it there. I really don't care. Yeah, let's not go with a lip or a spoiler or a wing. Screw that stuff. Do the fuel cap. Let's just put the fuel cap on right there. Why not? Door handles. Just slap this on. Mirrors. I remember I was working on a car and the mirrors were actually already on the body, oddly enough. So that mirror is reversed for some odd reason. How about these mirrors? Why are all the mirrors reversed? It doesn't make any sense. So you have to look the other way when putting mirrors on. Doesn't really make sense. Whatever. Bumper bar. Nah, nothing for that. Wheels. Now, wheels are the most important thing, because if you just had these little tiny crappy wheels on here, and let me just... the music is actually getting a little annoying. Okay, good. So, what wheels look good on this? No, definitely not. Oh, that's ugly. Maybe. Nah, yeah. Not really, but those do look pretty good. Now, that's what you would put on a lowrider. Now, that's what you put on if you want aerodynamics. That's what you put on if you have a old pickup truck that's absolutely crap. Now, this would kind of fit with kind of an older hot hatch, but we're trying to make the most modern hot hatch that we can. Those look decent. Do you know, I personally like this one. Or this one. Actually, yeah, sure, well, let's go with that one. Okay, drive type. Transverse front wheel drive. Actually, yeah, let's go with all-wheel drive. Let's also give this a... what do we want to give it? We can either give it an advanced automatic, a manual, or a dual clutch. Manual or dual clutch, what do we want? Let's just go with manual. Let's go with 6 gears. Top speed. Let's have our top speed be... well, it only has 310 10-ish horsepower, so let's have the top speed be 100 and... let's go with 60. Spacing, I don't really know. Differentials, we're going to go with a electric limited slip differential. Power distribution. Let's have it biased towards the rear slightly, so that when you go into the corner, it kind of wants to kick back out a little bit, but the front wheels pull the car along. Increased quality. Let's go to the next one. Now, why would you put cross-ply tires on this? It just doesn't make sense. We're going to move the radial. And then, instead of going with a medium compound, which is kind of just the middle, I'm going to go with sport compound. The tire width. Well, we're going to go with some decently fat tires because we need to fit in that gap there. So in the front, and actually, okay, so we're going to put it out a little bit. So right about there, increase tire size to 200. And yeah, let's go with that. And then in the rear, set that to 30. And then increase the tire size. I think in the rear, because there's a little bit more power in the rear, I'm going to put it in by 20. And slightly decrease that there, so that they stick out about the same. So this is a little bit bigger. And then rim material, obviously, alloy. Might you go with anything else? Actually, carbon fiber makes it a lot lighter. Brakes, front brakes, vented. Let's go with 6 pistons. Size, let's make that pretty big. Rear brakes, we're gonna go with, once again, vented, but only 4 pistons. In size, 9.1. Quality, increase that. Next, for the under tray, let's go with downforce. And then downforce, let's increase that a bit. Let's do that. Active aero. I don't think we need cooling flaps. Brake airflow, let's increase that. Let's decrease a little. Quality, also increase. Now the seats, we're gonna have a bench in the rear, 2 seats in the front, yeah. And we want this to be like kind of the most prominent type thing. So this is gonna be a little bit nicer on the inside than a Honda Civic Type R. So it's gonna be about a VW Golf. Let's go with luxury, and then entertainment. Have a premium heads-up display. Quality increase. Next, power steering. We're gonna go with electric variable. Traction aids, launch control, and then we're gonna go for advanced 20s. This might weigh a little bit because this is the car that we want to be most advanced, but also be able to go fast. So increase quality. Actually, who cares about safety? We want this thing to be light. Next one. For springs, how about progressive? No. Standard, obviously not. Now this is going to be like the most comfortable, crazy. That thing will make you the most comfortable person on the road, except this thing, that's not really what this is meant to do. This is meant to go fast. We're going to go with air suspension. For the dampers, this is going to have adaptive dampers. Sway bars, once again, active. This car is going to brake all the time, isn't it? So this is going to be just like a VW Golf. Everything is air suspension, high-tech, going to brake. Dampers, adaptive, high-tech, going to brake. Sway bars, active, high-tech, going to brake. And then we're going to tune it for, how about, if we tune it for comfort, sportiness is 80%, and cornering G is 1.02. And then what does sport do? 1.05, it makes the sportiness a little bit better. You know, there's not all that big of a difference between comfort, and if we just go for race at like 1.06, even though the sport actually does corner just a little bit less. I'm still going to select comfort. And then the ride height. So let's see. So here's our comfort value. And if I decrease the ride height, same. Does the... Okay, yeah, it does decrease. So I'm going to have the ride height as 9.5 inches. 9.5 inches. Quality. We're going to increase the quality because that makes everything just better. Okay, so the rear ride frequency is low. The front brake force is high compared to grip. The rear brake force is high compared to grip. And one or more quality settings are causing high costs. So what is the ride frequency? Try increasing the spring stiffness. Okay, I think what it means is that the rear suspension is too soft, which means it can't really absorb bumps. So springs, let's go to the rear and increase that a little bit. Okay, good. So this gets around 24 miles to the gallon. It weighs 3,366 pounds, which is actually quite fat. And it makes 323 horsepower, except it doesn't really have all that much torque. So the thing is that, yeah, it has power, but it doesn't really have torque, so it won't really be able to push it along all that good. Whatever. Let's go to the test track. Let's see how this thing does. That's actually really fast. Never mind. I got the 60 pretty fast. Going around that corner pretty fast. Okay, I know this racetrack. I've played it at me when you drive, and it is going actually decently fast. Okay, it's at Brian Spin right now, and let's see what it can go around that at. Just went around that at decently fast speed. But now at the Bammer Head, that's a really, really steep corner. 35 miles an hour. That's actually pretty decent. On the brakes here for this banked corner. Called Cowl. Let's see what it gets up to for top speed. So far we're at 120, 130. Yeah, it looks like on this racetrack the message getting up to us there. 135 was the highest that I saw. Now this is the Babram Bend. And then up ahead is the Kilog Chicane. Honestly, this thing is doing really well, especially when it hits the brakes and takes off. Now this is going to be a really, really tight corner. That was about 30 miles an hour. Which is okay. Now it's going up to the Cossack corner. Okay, the final straight. On the final straight, it is getting to about 80 miles an hour. 83 miles an hour on the final straight. For something that weighs 3,366 pounds, it can tow 3,800 pounds. Wow. And it can haul 1,900 pounds. That's crazy. Although it's 7 feet wide. The thing is that in America, all roads have to be at least 8 feet wide. So if you went somewhere in Europe, there's a possibility that won't fit down every road. And the quarter mile time was 13 seconds, which I think that's okay. This is a pretty good car. For the first time ever that I've actually made a pretty good car. So, hopefully you liked this episode, and goodbye.